Ah, yeah, that's the stuff. Greetings and welcome. And thank you for stopping by here on YouTube. YouTube live at The Real Bloom from Within Love. Y'all know I go by Bloomy. And I just want to say happy Monday, happy full moon to all of you out there today. I hope everybody is doing well, okay? And to all of my returning subscribers and viewers, my faithful ones that are here on that right vibe, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you so much. My love and light to you always, okay? And for those of you who are new, welcome. Thank you for joining, and I hope that you find things here with Bloom from Within Love that will help you on your path to awakening, ascending, that will help you on your path to transformation, holistic healing in your life, okay? And anything that you need to know about me should be listed in the description box, okay? Now, as you see, I believe in the title, I put something like, what did I put? Hell, I don't even remember what I put. I think I put something along the lines of exposed, right? Something to do with exposed. Now, before I actually get into the reading, which is a general collective tarot reading, you guys, so please only take what resonate. Also, it's timeless, so it's whenever you click on this video, okay, for you. And I do not really focus on the zodiac signs per se, and genders and things like that, because first of all, there's really no gender in tarot. It's just a gauge of energy, whether it is masculine and feminine, because we embody both, okay? As with the elements, we all embody earth, water, fire, and air. So that is a part of the reason why I don't do that. I do call out the signs when I feel guided, if there's a strong, prominent energy, okay? But for the most part, it's in my resonance because, you know, first of all, we all embody that. And then not only that, it can become very complicated when you're dealing with other individuals that share similar zodiac signs or similar elements, right? So it's easier to simply just pay attention to what's being said about which person in a read, okay? Set your intentions. That also helps if you get clear in your mind and get fully present. That'll kind of help to tap into the reading and for me to tap in as a reader, okay? All right, now, before I actually get into the reading, if you are familiar with me, if you've been here before, you guys know the Bloomster already. You know that I have a tendency to story tell, and what I mean is I give analogies, parables, you know, anything that I've channeled, anything that I feel guided to share, if it is relevant to the reading itself, right? So, the topic being exposed. Collective, this is for those of you who are here on earth for a higher mission, okay? And unfortunately, you may have found out that, you know, I spoke of this maybe a couple of weeks ago regarding when you find out that you were born into an actual karmic family and why that is so challenging. No, actually, yeah, I think it was my birthday, maybe about a week ago. What, or it could have been longer than that. But anyway, but why is it so challenging and yada, yada, yada. Okay. And then you guys heard me speak of situations. I think I've done some readings and situations where karmic partners, we always talk about the karmics and the karmic partners and things of that nature, right? And the twist for some of you all being that the karmics are not only just the karmics of your counterpart, but it's also the karmics, your own karmic, okay? And one of your own karmics, rather. So being your family, your sibling, which made it a whole nother twist to the whole dynamic, right? Now, worse yet, beyond it being, this is what I'm talking about exposing. We'll get here, so just bear with me. Beyond the revelation of being born into a karmic family, in other words, like they have a secret hate for you. They have a secret jealousy. They have a secret insatiable desire to either use you or hurt you or both, because they're karmic. Okay? Karmic in nature. They are asleep. They are not, you know what I'm saying? That's what they came as. They are not consciously aware. Okay? They may practice things in a 3D. They may have spirituality from a 3D perspective, but they are essentially asleep. They are not connected. Some of them, lose. I don't want to get too far into that, because depending on how deep you go into darkness really determines where that goes for any karmic, okay? But, so collective, you have had to find out that you're born into a karmic family, okay? Then you found out that maybe in a dynamic situation of your life, if you're on a twin flame journey, you find out that your own sibling was behind, trying to lure your counterpart in and doing a lot of toxic fuck shit, right? Now here is the next phase, okay? Then you all come into, all things become exposed. The truth that your family, especially the karmic that is trying to impersonate you, okay, with a masculine, especially if you're divine feminine, okay? Trying to impersonate you, wanting to be you, okay, has been hiring practitioners and practicing high-level dark magic spell work for years, but not only on you, on everybody. This is what they have been doing, okay, to gain control, to get people to do what they want, to, see, you guys, some people rather steal than heal. Some people rather, especially if they're karmics, because that's what they're programmed to be like. So they'd rather look for all of the shortcuts. They'd rather exploit spell work, or resort to black magic, dark covens, secret societies, things of that nature, rather than go their journey, do the work, right? They'd rather steal than heal. They'd rather kill than heal. And the reason why I'm saying that, collective, is because some of them go so far, they get so far gone, not understanding that, and every practitioner, this stuff is being exposed, and I'm going to get to a story here in a second to explain why, okay? Every practitioner that has been involved with this, whether it was clergy, because in some cases it's clergy, where it's like, it comes on the surface like it's about a religion or Christianity, okay? But it's, again, gone rogue, it's dark, it's based in a 3D. And so when people are in that program, they actually feel justified with doing prayers and saying certain things towards individuals, and they feel justified in doing so. So that's another disillusionment. But others of you, it's more about, spiritualist, okay? Whether it is Reiki masters, magicians, spellcasters, whatever titles, dark witches that pretend to be white witches, you know what I'm saying? Secret societies, some of them Satanists, because some of them ain't pretending. Some of them just, some of them wear the sign, openly, but these individuals rather send and perform blood rituals and death rituals, sacrifices on the collective, because of their envy and their jealousy, because they, that's the only way they feel like they can feel better because they think by doing that, then they will inherit what the collective was to have, which is sorely mistaken. They think that, then they'll be seen in a certain light if they can just get rid of the collective, get rid of divine feminine. They think if they can do that, they won't have to be triggered and bothered by their own darkness. Okay? Get rid of divine feminine. Then I won't feel so bad. Get rid of divine feminine. Then I could try to maybe step in their legacy and start trying to pretend to be them. Get rid of the divine feminine. And then maybe I'll get the love or admiration or whatever that they feel like the divine feminine is getting. It's disillusionment. Okay? But that is what's driving most of these people collective, especially if at some point you took authority over your life. You separated yourself from these individuals. You called these individuals out on their shit. Okay? And in spite of all of the magic and havoc that they had been sending, you had divine protection and, your guides, source, ancestors, all of your light team around the whole time, watching all of this, okay? Now, I know that may be a lot for some of you, collective. Depends on where you are in the process of kind of sorting through it. I want to send my love and light out to you especially. I'm thinking of y'all. Before I came on camera, I actually did a meditation specifically for you all, okay? These individuals have done a lot. The reason why I say exposed, I'm going to give you guys a little story. Here recently, I had a conversation with someone to give them an opportunity to come clean. It was their chance to, speak their truth, speak now, forever, hold your peace kind of energy. If there was anything they needed to admit, if there was anything they needed to, it was to give this person an opportunity to say it now, because in a little while, there are some other things to follow. So when you start to know, now this is something else I want to tell you guys, collective. Once you really come to the understanding that you have a karmic family and how they are, and you kind of know the way they operate. So you, in a conversation such as that I'm mentioning, the approach must be a little different. Because if you already know you deal with liars, right? You know that you deal with liars. You know that you deal with people who like to triangulate and, they say one thing to you and they'll go back and say something else to the other person. And, because that's the karmic energy. It's very hard for them to be straight up people. It's very hard. Okay? And so when you understand that and have accepted it, then when you're having this conversation, or if you approach that to give these individuals a shot, right? You have to approach it differently. So the reason why I'm saying all things exposed, because that's the way it comes out when you approach it differently. And if you're in a situation, collective, where there's some really low down dark stuff happening, and in some cases some illegal things possibly happening to you, then in these conversations it'll be wise to have another presence involved. Okay? Preferably, now this is if you can, I understand that you may not be able to, but preferably law. Okay? And then also, beyond that, there are certain features that you can use that's going to already say this call is being recorded, or I'm not sure how that goes, but essentially to retain that conversation. Because the issue can be, like I said, if you already know what you're dealing with, people rarely are going to say, You know, that's the nature of communication, the phone tree game that we used to all play when we were younger to prove how distorted communication becomes when it goes from one person to the next and to the next, right? Because essentially, if you're not there at the time of that conversation, it can be easily bent. So, as I'm saying, all exposed. All exposed, collective. So this is for some of you who are dealing with similar things, okay? And on top of the things that the person could have exposed, you know, so you got that, you know, that's been received and you're doing what's necessary there, right? But you may feel like what's sad is as you had to almost like meet that individual, that energy where they are, which you already know. No matter what they say, you know, right? It was sad. You probably felt like, or will feel like when this happens for you, like, because you have been doing a lot of healing, a lot of cleansing, a lot of transforming, right? It's not for show for you. It's not just an image for you. It's not just some type of a ritual and practice for you, okay? So you probably will see how broken these individuals are, but beyond that, you'll see where their mindsets really are. You know, like if they're talking about stuff like, you know, just comparing and talking about sex like it's all the, you know, just, man. Like just because somebody can have sex, like that's child's play. Like most of you all collective have so gotten past being flattered about getting somebody to have sex with you. You know what I'm saying? It's child's play. That's high school, man. That's when back in the day when you were still tripping on whoop. You know what I'm saying? We get to a place where it's like that's not impressive. It's one of the most primitive nature things in this society, in this reality. It doesn't require much, man. You know? But beyond that, you guys may have seen how it may have hurt, but you know, it's probably a part of your release, just how disinterested they are in you as a person, or how they really do not want you happy or could care less. That these same individuals just really sit back and stalk you and look at you, and amongst one another, if they were a high vibrational family, if they were not karmic family, if they were not, you know what I'm saying, in that toxic shit, right? No matter if there's been a difference between you all, if you all are not speaking, if you have gone your way, I'm saying this for a reason because healthy people, those that have a healthy chakra system, healthy heart chakra, okay, those that are aware and mature and balanced and have a sense of compassion and empathy for humanity in a whole sense, right? Whether or not there's been a rift or you've gone your way, they've gone theirs, when individuals are healthy, okay, and you know, they're not karmic family, they really still don't have any malice in their heart for you, okay? They really may feel sad that they don't get to talk to you, or you know, they may wish things were different or whatever, but at the end of the day, they wouldn't want to see no harm on you, you know, because they normal, because they healthy, okay? They wouldn't want to see no harm on you, right? And if you have attained a level of success, whatever that is for you, or that you have found some kind of happiness for yourself, as you went on and created your life on your own terms, right? You didn't have to create it at the expense of them or anybody else. You didn't have to do no dark magic spells so that you could excel and they wouldn't. And you know what I'm saying? You didn't have to do no chaos and magic and you know what I'm saying? None of that. Hell, you guys didn't even have to go around gossiping about them, unlike them, okay, what they did to you. In order to, you know, attain your level of happiness or whatever it is you come into, Okay. You may find that in this conversation that, when people just focus on, it comes out whether they know it or not. And that's what I'm saying, exposed. It comes out where it's like, oh, somebody, so and so saw you, woo woo. They're like, they think they bleach their skin. That's just an example, right? Or, oh, you know, somebody said, oh yeah, they're over there on that social media. Oh, or they'll say something like, oh, you know, I did have a conversation once with somebody, about, dating outside of culture. And they did bring this conversation up to me if they feel like that's what you do or whatever. I'm saying all this to say that it reveals to you where their minds are. Or when they ask, are you working? Sounds simple, doesn't it? But see, the thing about karmic energy and karmic family is everything that they're ever seeking information for is not for the reasons you think. Okay. So you may find out if this comes up for you and really come to realize like, wow, okay, they are really not. Because healthy, whole, healed, vibrant, true loving energy, not fake loving, true loving energy, not fake purity and fake good and fake, I'm not talking about, um, oh man, they're happy for you. And when they get to talk to you, if there's anything good that's been happening for you, it's not a source of a sore for them. It's not a source of a trigger for them. It's not a source of something for them to sit and go, and look for something to pick on, because essentially there's that envy. It's jealousy. There it is. When people are in, a healthy, happy place, then whether or not they are, currently, oh, throat chakra, there it is. Currently, been clearing this up a lot lately, y'all. Getting it out. Even if you're not, currently connected, you don't wish any harm on people because you ain't crazy. You're not a reptilian. You're not dead. You're not, It's like you have a sense of, look, I may not agree with everything about this person. We may, not see eye to eye. We may, I may have my own thoughts and feelings about certain things, but at the end of the day, this is a human being. At the end of the day, it's my so-called blood. I do not wish no harm. Good for them. They found something, hell, shit. That's what this life is about. They found something that makes them happy, and they're able to kind of go there. Oh yeah, I heard something, so and so. Great, that's good. I'm glad. That's the kind of reactions that you'll get from people that are not karmic. Okay. From people that are healed and want to see you happy. But when people, you guys, hurt people hurt people. When people are unhappy, whether they're masking it or not, they don't really, And unfortunately, sometimes collective, those folks probably in your life have gotten their jollies off of trying to create obstacles and challenges for you, or watching you suffer and struggle. It's that old saying where it's like somebody throws the apple and hide their hand. And it's true. Do certain things and then reach down and act like they're trying to help you, but they were the one that threw the apple to start. right? So, it's sad for them. And I say for them because collective, you all are, first and foremost, you got your evidence, or you will, if this hasn't happened for you yet, amongst the other evidence that you have collected. And this is for those of you, like I said, that people are, they got your personal information. It's sad. Your social security number, your ID, that of your child or your children's, okay? Utilizing it to get, utilities cut on, or allowing their children to do so, or utilizing it to try to set you up or frame you, hacking into your information, your cloud, your devices, right? Making sure that, the silence, I tell people all the time, don't be fooled by somebody being silent a long time. They are very well be right behind you, right behind you. Or having things looked into because they know what's happening. So, collective, do your due diligence if you haven't already, okay? And when I say due diligence, I mean, of course, energetically speaking, but beyond that, both worlds in the 3D, okay? Every cyber stalker bully that has ever come on any of your accounts and things of that nature and said nasty things, screenshot that stuff and put it in a different location, okay? So that you can use that if you have to, okay? That's to cover yourself, because all of those profiles are traceable. Those IP addresses, no matter if it was a whole nother get down, those things are traceable, okay? So make sure to do that, and of course you delete it, but when it happens, when people come on and they're saying, snarly statements, or you pick something up like an off vibe about them, screenshot it. And then save it in another location where it can't be tampered with. Okay? And some of you all, it may be sad. You may realize, like, not only was it the karmic, sibling, it was a group. It was a group of them along with possible your counterpart, divine masculine. Or should I say, at that time, when this stuff was happening at that time, more karmic in nature, right? Because see, collective people, I know this is long and we're going to get to the reading, but I really want to talk about this because it's real. It happens, especially if you're on a path like this. The thing about narcissistic energy or karmic energy, they feed, okay? And so if you're a divine, they want to be able to feed off of your energy. They want to be able to feed off, being connected to you, okay? And want to benefit from you in some way. So when you decide to stand in your truth and stand your ground and put separation and clear your energy, then they become pissed and then they resort to the other way of trying. Spell work. Right? And then when they're pissed about that, if they feel like that's no longer working, then they try to, in some cases, people try to harm. I had a slash in my tire. I think I talked about that a month or two ago. Took a picture of that too. It wasn't all the way through, so I think whoever it was may have, They may have attempted to, it could have got scared off or some shit, I don't know. But you can tell that, clearly it wasn't like a nail, or like it was in a way that, a person like had to come do that. And I don't have, in my case, you guys, I can't speak for you all collective, but, I'm kind of a loner. So it's not like I'm kind of just out there and possibly creating all kinds of folks that would want to do that. Actually, I stayed to myself because if it ain't high vibe, and I just ain't got time for it no more. Just not playing the game. So I spent a lot of time just, with my son, working on Bloom from Within Love, and, things of that nature. And that's perfectly fine for me. I'm at peace with that. I do a lot of things online. That's my interaction with folks, I have stuff online that I do, but yeah. Some of these people go that far. When they feel, I call it the narcissistic rage. When they feel like they have been exposed, when they feel like, all of it has shattered, everything that they planned, this is when you'll see their eyes turn black. The person that I spoke to, when they revealed what they knew about the situation, the person was like, oh, and like I said, you guys, I have this all, it's all noted, okay? But the person was like, yeah, the last time I was around them, when I was over there, when I was there, that last little encounter I had with them that broke my heart. This person was talking about how the other person, the sibling, the karmic, broke their heart. They said, I looked at them and I saw sheer evil. That's what the person said. And I realized and discovered, later in one of the last conversations, like that person is still in some fear, or actually probably a part of it all. That's why I had to approach the conversation in certain ways. Because that kind of person has a tendency to go back and forth, and they try to save their ass, or they try to, what I'm saying, make it seem like, whatever woo-woo to try to get in. That's the kind of energy that person has. And I'm fully aware of it. I knew that. And I had to cut the conversation short on the last one, collective, because this is when you come to realize and accept that some people just want to have access to you, okay? Because they need your energy. It has nothing to do with, true care, love, and concern and worry. It has nothing to do with that, man. Because if these individuals truly did, the whole dynamic would be different. I also saw and realized that they can never offer sincere apologies or totally own up to their shit. We have to accept that too, collective. I know it's the hardest part when you're trying to go through your awakening and trying to see what's what, and you know what I'm saying? And then that hardest part of, like, in terms of the family dynamic, you might as well stop trying. If you have come to identify that you have a karmic family and that they have kind of played a role in keeping you stuck and stagnated, and you know what I'm saying? Also, if you've come to know all of that, and not only that, there are individuals who've never really owned up to how they have treated you, the things they have done, the things they have said, like just fake, shallow, surface apologies. If I did something wrong to you, if I hurt you, okay? That's not ownership. And it just gives you clarity that they are not aware, or they're not connecting, and it's not gonna happen, okay? Some of them just want to try to match you and go back and forth. Oh, well, they want to go spiritual and religious and shit. And it's like, no, we ain't doing that. There's no comparison here. We're not talking about, this is not about, let me say this and that. It's about, this is when you know whether or not people really want to heal. Because people that really want to heal, they're listening to understand, and they're listening because they want to know, and they're listening because they care. They're not looking for a rebuttal so they can say, well, let me tell you what I feel about people. Nope, gotta go by. Because it's not about that gaslighting and deflecting. No. So collective, if you're being guided to do certain things, do it. If it's for whatever your reasons are, and then release it and cut the cords. Ask your team to cleanse the energy, pull your energy back, send their energy back, because it's a feeding. Some just want a best friend. Some just want to feed off of your high vibration, okay? They want access. But as I stated to this person, I have no interest in connecting to people, whether family or not, who does not own up to their shit, who does not honor me and my son properly, who does not treat us properly, who secretly wishes us harm and don't want to see us happy, who secretly talks about, us behind our back, but then want to sit and chat. Right? I told them, so I have no interest, thank you. I do not. Done. That's a hard, it takes a lot to get you there, but it'll serve you, collective. Because it's honor to you. You guys deserve, we deserve to be connected to people. And these individuals have not wanted you all to have that. They've done spell work to try to make sure you didn't, to wreak havoc on that. They talked about you all behind your back to people you've dated. They've done all of this stuff secretly. Some of this stuff they have done to the friends and family of your family, so people you've grown up with and things of that nature, to try to paint a certain light of you. Right? They hide it. But all is exposed. It's coming to an hour where, it's shattering. And people are getting caught. People are getting busted. Information and data and everything that they work so diligently to, try to get rid of or erase or deny, and all of that triangulation and going back and forth and the he said, she said, all that is shutting down, and it's being exposed for what it is. These people also wanted to keep a rift between counterparts. It was a part of the whole thing. Sending energy and spells and saying things to try to make counterparts essentially hate one another or see one another in a certain light. Yeah, sad. It's sad, collective, that these, you all may be thinking the same way I am. Like, who got energy for that kind of a life, man? What a waste. What a waste of a potential beautiful life to be had if somebody would simply just do their own healing and go on their paths and journeys. And, you know what I'm saying? We've all been heartbroken. We've all, have felt like people have done us wrong and dirty. And, that's the nature of this life here. But you heal. You go on a path. You do the work. You heal. You learn your lesson, hopefully, and say, okay, lesson learned. And do your best to move forward in life. And because you can still create. It doesn't end. You can still co-create. And so I find it very sad for these people that they have to resort to so much negativity. And yet, in the end, they're still not happy, because how can you be? How can you? When, you know what I'm saying, all you've done is just try to cause havoc in others' lives when you couldn't get your way, or in order to get your way. How can you? When you're not even your real self, you're not, no sense of self, void, so trying to copycat and impersonate, how can you be happy with that? When you're selling your soul for a fuck, for a look, for an image, for money. To try to get even with somebody that didn't do nothing to you and it's going to be just fine regardless. How could you be happy? You can't. Sleepless nights. It's not a happy life. It's very shallow. It's sad. Anyway, all right, I'm going to end it there. Collective, that conversation. I know it was long. I should probably end this here, right? I think I'm in this as the conversation, and then I'm going to do a new live for the actual reading. Woo, okay? So I'm going to change the title of this, you know, the conversation, the things that have been exposed, and then we'll go ahead and do the reading, okay? To make it simple so that it's not like a 5-hour or 3-hour long video, okay? Any of you that come on here at some point, please only take, you know, this discussion as it resonated with you, because it may not resonate with you, okay? And even if it does, always seek higher guidance, your own internal guidance system, and follow that intuition and be careful. Do your due diligence, okay? We have to learn how to navigate both worlds. Yes, we are divine spiritual beings on this ascension path, and we do meditate and we heal and we do mantras, but if there are things in the 3D precautions you need to take, you know your story. If people are stalking you, then you may have to go, you know, do what you have to do with that. Okay? If there's some foul play, some suspicion happening on your electronic devices and your accounts, and you know people are cyber stalking you, make sure that you're taking note, you know, gaining a record of all of that, because that's going to serve if somebody tries to trump up fake cases against you. You know, if you know that people have your information, you need to report that, and you need to explain why there's suspicion and have that backing. People who have your social security number, your date of birth, you know, your ID numbers and things like that. Because some of these people will stop at nothing, okay? And as long as they can continue to get away with that stuff, they will, you know? And as for all like the spiritualists and the practitioners and stuff, everybody's going to get their karma. Like whoever these individuals involved in stuff been done against you guys collective, they're all going to get their karma. That's just the way it is. Okay? So with that being said, to try to make it simple, guys, I want to end it here and then come back on right away, so that the reading itself will be a little shorter. For those of you who kind of get annoyed with these discussions and stuff, right? Not everybody wants to hear all that. Respect, you know? I get it, because sometimes I'm in that mood. So I'll go ahead and end this and then hop back on. Okay, so that way I'm coming back on and we're just going straight read. I ain't going to dilly-dally, none of that, okay? I've gotten the conversation that I felt guided to share with the collective out. Hopefully you find it useful, okay? Be wise. You know, tap into that intuition, call in them guides, your angels, ancestors, okay? Especially today, because some of these people, these dark witch covens and dark spiritualist, and, you guys know your story. They utilize this time to do their things as well. Okay, so it will serve you well at some point today that you do what you feel like you're guided to do energetically, pertaining to the stuff that you know that they're doing towards you. Okay? Towards you, your life, your path, your children, whatever you feel guided to, in love and in light, because you guys, you're protected. This is a part of what has frustrated most of them, because to them, all of the fuck shit that they've been doing, all of the spell work, all of the gossip, all of the everything, like to them, it's like you probably should have been dead already. Because that was like the plan. Either dead or, you know what I'm saying, in a hospital or, And so that has kind of frustrated them. But they, I ain't going to focus more on that because it's very sad. Sad. This is how you know collective. If ever you're wondering, I tell people this all the time. They come and they ask, well, how do you know, Bloomy? How do you know, Bloomy? How do you know? How do you know, Bloomy? How do you know? How do you know when somebody is, of evil and, ugly intentions or doing secret shit? And how do you know, Bloomy? This is why we must be tapped in. Because if you look into 3D, these are smiling faces. If you look into 3D, some of these people hide their spiritual practices. Okay, so that's why you have to go beyond that. And you'll know. Okay? And people's behavior, their responses. There's so many reasons and ways in which you can tell somebody's real vibration, their real get down towards you. Okay? All right, guys. So I'll be right back on. Give me a second. Sending y'all love and light. And if you're interested in a reading, I'll see you momentarily. Namaste.